Hello everybody. Today we will discuss about the practical implementation of interfaces. Practical implementation of interfaces in Java. So in few lectures back we have discussed about interfaces. We have talked about what is the use of interface, what is an interface, what all things are included in an interface, what all things are contained in an interface. So there was a basic point about interface, that every declaration of a function or every declaration is contained inside an interface, and all definitions are contained inside class. So I will repeat and write my sentence. All declarations are inside the interface, and all definitions are inside the class which implements this interface. For an example, we will take a practical example. We will take a program. We'll say class testo, and we will have an interface. We will name it test. So declarations, all declarations are inside the interface. So we will have some declarations inside this interface. Void print, and then we will put semicolon showing that it's just a declaration, and all definitions are inside the class. So inside class we will elaborate it. We will define the print function, and we will say system dot out println, let's say hello for now, and let us also have a data member within this interface. So let's say int a. Sorry. So if int a is there in the interface, its definition must be in the class. So we will say int a is equals to, let's say, 2, and in print we will say hello, the value of integer variable a is, and then we will output the value of a. So this is basically the difference between an interface and a class. In an interface we do all declarations, and in a class we will do all definitions. But as we are doing the practical implementation, we need to include main function inside a class. So we will say public static void main, and then string args, and then we will do nothing but testo, just instantiate this class testo_t is equals to new testo. So we will just instantiate this class inside this main function. Now we have forgotten to use implements keyword, which is very important. Implements interface, the name of the interface is test. So this is our practical program and we will try to run it. Before running it, we will hide these learnings inside a multi-line comment. There are two types of comments, multi-line comment and single line comment. Here we are using multi-line comment to hide these instructions, and then we will proceed to run the program. Now we will save it as testo.java. So we also named our file as testo, not only our class but also our file as testo. We'll copy this file, we will open C, then program files, then Java, then JDK, then bin, and we will paste the testo.java file here. And then in order to run it, we will open command line argument. We will open the bin directory. Inside the command line argument, cd. So the directory is open to us. Then we will try to run our program by saying Java18 testo.java. We'll see if it contains an error. Yes, it contains an error. So it says that testo.java line 7 is equals to is expected here. So basically what I have missed it here is initialization is important in case of interface, and I will also write it inside these instructions. Initialization of data members. Data members means these variables, integer, float, these all inside an interface. Initialization of data members inside an interface is necessary. Now, why is it necessary? Because I told you in earlier lectures that every data member inside a class is associated with a static keyword, and basically it is associated with the static, final, these kinds of keywords. So in earlier lecture I explained to you that it's associated with the static word, and every method inside an interface is associated with abstract. So what the compiler does, whenever it reads interface, it automatically converts all data members of this interface into a static variable and into a final variable, and every method into an abstract method. So the compiler definition of this function will be like this. Even though you have omitted abstract from there, but the compiler will include abstract in this function. So we need not to include it, but the compiler will include it. So it's necessary to initialize every static variable. So it's necessary that we initialize every data member of the interface. So now I think the error would have been vanished. So I will save this file, and this is the, I think this is the bin file or the desktop file. Let me see it. it's the desktop file. So we will change the same thing inside the bin folders testo.java. So we will initialize it to, let's say, 0, and then we will save this file, and then we will again try to run our program. We'll again try to compile our program. It still contains an error because there is yet another error. In testo cannot implement print in test attempting to assign weaker access privileges was public. So weaker public access, maybe they want the function to be public, or I don't know. Let's see. Public void print. Let's save this and then try to compile our program. No, there's something else. Private. How to make it private? No, there are two errors. Let's see. Let's sort out this error. Identifier expected. Yes, I got the problem. The solution of the problem. Sorry. Um, I have not included keyword public here. Keyword public needs to be included whenever you try to define the method whose declaration is inside the interface. So if you are implementing that interface, you need to make the methods of that interface public. So now let's save this file and then let's compile our program. So we'll say java18testo.java. Now we can see that it is successfully compiled. So we will say java testo, and let's see what's the output. There is no output at all. So what we have done is we have just instantiated this testo class, and we need to also call this print function inside the testo class. By instantiating, we have reached this data member, and we have initialized a is equals to 2. Now we need to say t dot print, so that this method also gets importance. So now sorry, we again compile the program and we again try to run it, and it says hello, the value of integer variable a is 2. So this is all about practical implementation of interface. Here, as you can see, all the declarations are inside the interface and all definitions are inside the class. So you can see that implements is the keyword associated with implementing interfaces. But there is yet one more importance that I need to tell you, that you cannot multiply inherit two classes. Means if there are two classes, then you cannot inherit two classes inside a class. You cannot say class testo and then you cannot say extends A. Let's suppose there is a class A and comma B. You cannot say like that. Okay. If there are two classes, class A and class B, and you want to extend or you want to inherit these two classes inside the testo class, that cannot happen in Java. But in order to perform this, you can have interface as an alternative. So if there are two interfaces, let's suppose interface test is an interface and there is yet another interface, interface test 1, let's suppose. So there are two interfaces and inside it take another function, let's say void, let's say any, and this is just the declaration, so we will semicolon. And now if we want to implement both of these interfaces, we can very well do so in Java. So we cannot multiply inherit two classes, but we can multiply implement two interfaces in Java. So in that way you can make use of multiple inheritance in Java. So if anybody asks you, is there any multiple inheritance in Java? Then you can say that there is no multiple inheritance in Java as long as it is related to classes. If interfaces are counted, yes, there is multiple inheritance in Java because two interfaces can be implemented inside a class. So here you can also include the definition of this function or method included inside test1 interface. So we will say public void any, and then we can have system dot out dot print ln and hello, I am a method inside second interface. So this is, let's suppose this is the output, and let us try to execute this function also. So we will say t dot any, and we will see if this also successfully compiles. So we will save this and we'll try to run the same program. Yes, it successfully compiles, and then you can see there are two outputs. Hello, the value of integer variable a is 2. This is the output of uh, print function inside first interface, that is test interface, and there is yet another output. Hello, I am a method inside second interface. So this is the output associated with any function which is a part of interface test1. So you can have multiple inheritance in this manner by implementing two interfaces inside a single class. So this is all about practical implementation of interfaces in Java. Thank you.